Hey everyone, Percy here. I've absolutely loved the Nintendo Switch since its launch back in March of 2017, as I got one on release day and loved every second of it. The concept of going from handheld to console is still one of the coolest concepts of the system and way ahead of its time. In more recent years, we see Sony, Steam, and Microsoft all having their success with the handheld console concept in the form of the PlayStation Portal, the Steam Deck, and stuff like the Logitech G Cloud, respectively. But the Switch was there from the start, revolutionizing Nintendo's technology and the gaming industry as a whole. It's even Nintendo's most successful console as of right now. The Switch 2 is going to be very interesting soon. I hope it's as successful, if not more so, than the original. PlayStation has numbered their consoles for years, so I don't see Nintendo doing the same thing to result in a failure at all. I think it'll be similar to the success from, let's say, the DS to the 3DS, or the GameCube to the Wii. That backwards compatibility that they've announced will really help a lot. But I do think it'll sell better, and that's especially on April 2nd, a Nintendo Direct will air that day, most likely showing the hardware, showcase the new console specs, power level, controllers, maybe some unlikely showcasing like amiibo or console themes, but I feel mainly the games are what people are wanting to see. I feel like a lot of Nintendo's franchises have been deep in development, and we're going to see a lot of heavy hitters. A lot of 2024 and early 2025 had a start of first-party titles, being a lot of remakes, remasters, and ports. I don't have a problem with that, as I'm on the side of game preservation, and keeping older titles accessible to new generations. It makes those types of games a favorite genre of mine. These consisted of Another Code Recollection, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. As for the beginning of 2025, we have Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I loved what I played of the remakes, but it still shows that other titles are going to be happening soon. Not all of the newer titles are ports and remakes though. I personally adored the original titles I played last year, such as Princess Peach Showtime, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario & Luigi Brothership. Fantastic titles. Like I said before, I believe Nintendo is going to build up a ton of special announcements for the next generation. Let's get into my personal predictions. First, to start off with, I think they will start by showing the Shadow Drop Switch 2 trailer from January, with commentary from Yoshiaki Koizumi or Shinya Takahashi, and one of the two, or both, will be talking about everyone hyping up this coming out and how thankful Nintendo is for the success of the Nintendo Switch and the fans for building it all up and making it as successful as it is. They're going to state something like, "We at Nintendo are ready to show you the games you've been looking for a long time." Then the Switch Snap will transition to Kosuke Ibuki, Mario Kart and ARMS Dad, in which he will discuss that it's been a long time since the last main entry in the Mario Kart series, and go over the new courses, gimmicks, characters, retro courses, and much more. I think that the gimmick will be the new 24-player races that was shown off quietly in the Switch 2's trailer, and he'll explain the physics engine and course length and width adjustments that'll come along with it. I feel like for characters we have to get Cappy and Tiara from Mario Odyssey, Goomba and Spike from the mainline titles, and by far my dream wishes, if they keep up with the crossover characters, would be Kirby from, Kirby, and Captain Falcon from F-Zero. These two have been seen racing before, as Kirby had Kirby's Air Ride and Kirby's Dream Buffet, both as racing titles. As for Falcon, F-Zero is a racing series already, and the Blue Falcon and courses like Mute City and Big Blue are straight up classics for Mario Kart at this point, so him and Kirby have to get in there. As for returning characters, I feel that if 24 Racers is going to be a main feature, we have to see at least 8 Deluxe's roster, and on top of that, I'd like to see a lot of tour characters and the tour skins for each character. Like, you got Dr. Mario, you have Mario with all his Odyssey costumes, you have Luigi Night, Luigi Vacation, Princess Peach in all of her Odyssey outfits as well, and the wedding ones. Just a lot to go around. I'd love to see Poochie, Monty Mole, the Hammer, Ice, Fire, and Boomerang Bros, King Bomb, and Charger Chuck, just to name a few. As for new Nitro Cup courses, I'd love to see more references to the mainline Mario series itself. DS in particular did this wonderfully, with additions such as Airship Fortress from Super Mario Bros. 3, Tick-Tock Clock from Super Mario 64, and Delfino Square from the vibes of Super Mario Sunshine. Among others, we could totally see the kingdoms from Odyssey like Cascade, Shiveria, Boblaine, or Bowser's, or a Galaxy-themed track where you take full advantage of the anti-gravity mechanics present in 8 and just go ballistic across various levels of the Galaxy series. Maybe even Lake Lapcat from Bowser's Fury as one long lap track journey around the whole large open island like Mount Wario, or maybe venture through the Flower Kingdom from Mario Wonder, where Wonder Flowers are present and transform the area within each lap. Who knows what they'll come up with. As for older tracks, I'm personally hoping they'll bring back Mushroom City, Wario Coliseum, Luigi Circuit, and Rainbow Road from Double Dash, Dry Ruins, Toad's Factory, Bowser's Castle, and triple up on Mushroom Gorge, why not, all from Wii. And finally, for N64, I could see Frappe Snowland, Mario Raceway, and Banshee Boardwalk, just to name some. Going off of Mario Kart a bit, and into other Mario titles, I think Mr. Miyamoto will happily take the stage and talk about the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. And how much Mario means to him and so many other people. It's going to be a real tender and heartfelt moment, but then out of nowhere, he reveals Super Mario 3D All-Stars 2, containing Super Mario 64 DS, Galaxy 2, and 3D Land all in one collection. This, of course, mimicking the original Super Mario 3D All-Stars we had in 2020, which was a limited time release. I would really hope they would bring that back. All 3 of these would be so fun to replay again. And not only that, but it would work really well with the Switch 2, as the mouse functionality of the new Joy-Cons would work flawlessly with 64DS's controls or its minigames and 3D Land's touchscreen, as well as Galaxy 2's pointer, or just gyro control from a Pro Controller. Plus, I'm really hoping they bring back Super Mario 35 as Super Mario Bros. 40. Everyone I know who played this game misses it so much, myself included. It took the Tetris 99 Battle Royale format and worked so well and was so fun and replayable to just pick up and play a few more rounds over and over again. A few more Mario titles I would love to see them show would be a new Mario Maker game using the Joy-Con mouse once again to create levels. The original Mario Maker on Wii U was made for the Wii U gamepad, as making levels on the small screen and then switching to the top screen to play worked so fast and snappy. As much as I adore Mario Maker 2, the one issue I had with it was making levels, unironically enough. I didn't think it was as bad as others say, but it really is night and day going from 1 to 2. Placing elements is a lot slower, they're grouped in such weird ways, and really far apart. Sure, the Y button can speed things up, but it's not that much as it could be. I think that the left Joy-Con could have types and groups of elements mapped to the D-pad and stick directions, then the right Joy-Con could simply act as the mouse and move really well. Compare this type of functionality to Game Builder Garage on the Switch. That game was a prime showcase supporting a USB mouse for creating games or seeing the code. The mouse works way better than the left stick. Just look at this comparison. I'm thinking of 2 more Mario titles that could happen, one being a new Mario Baseball. Super Sluggers on the Wii was an absolute masterpiece, as it had a fun interactive story with great physics and motion controls, with options to make it simple or more complex to play using a nunchuck or just a Wiimote facing up. Plus, the character lineup is huge. We've got my boy King K. Rool with a lot of other Donkey Kong Country characters, plus a lot of Mario Sunshine representation with Piantas, Toadsworth, and Nokis. Freaking Dark Bones from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door appears in a 3D form. I definitely recommend Disco Toad's video on why this series is so underrated and why we need another one. Please check that out. It'll be linked in the description below. Finally, to wrap up Mario games, I think a new 3D Mario will be teased, maybe even shown off as a close-to-done project and be a launch title. I've loved every Mario game in the mainline series, and the 3D ones are absolutely incredible and all genre-defining titles in their own right. They all go for something way different from the last and blow everyone away. I would love an Odyssey sequel, returning with Cappy mechanics and going to new kingdoms. Maybe Mario travels off to Delfino Plaza or another area from Galaxy. Maybe we get something along the lines of Bowser's Fury as a giant open world area of collectibles, except way longer of a game. Maybe they can go back to the 64 and Sunshine approach of having multiple missions within a super large world, kind of like how Odyssey does it, but with a lot less collectibles to make them more memorable of missions. I didn't find that to be a problem with Odyssey, in which 800 plus moons were in the game, but lots of them were just scattered around and pretty simple to find. I think if anything, that makes you want to collect them all, even if some are easier than others, and it'll make it more replayable just from that alone. But any design works. I'm sure Nintendo will knock this one out of the park. Mario is their main series after all. As for Zelda, I feel like it's going to be a while, as Echoes of Wisdom just dropped, bringing back the top-down 2D Zelda formula of which we haven't seen since Link Between Worlds on 3DS. I think a lot of people thought that there weren't enough differences between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and want something new, or to go back to the traditional formula from Ocarina of Time and the rest of the 3D lineup before Breath of the Wild. So to satiate the fans for now, I'm hoping either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess get their Wii U ports at last. Both are incredible titles, with Wind Waker having you travel by ship to multiple locations across the sea, to Twilight Princess having Wolf Link as a really interesting new form and change up of gameplay. And while I've only played Wind Waker on GameCube, and I'm sure Twilight Princess is a great game too, I know for a fact everyone would love these games in 4K HD on Switch too. Next, on to Kirby. The last we saw of Kirby was with 2023's Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, an extremely lovely cel-shaded remake of the original Wii game with extra sub-games, masks, and a brand new side story called Magolor's Epilogue, which follows the events right after Return to Dreamland as a really fun roguelike to get Magolor's power back to him, and a great connection in the Kirby lore, having his new evolved Magolor being the green-friendly version we see in Super Kirby Clash and Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. But do you know where Team Kirby Clash originated? That's right, Kirby Planet Robobot, one of my favorite 3DS games, and one of my favorite Kirby games, featuring an incredible mechanized army taking over Dreamland. Kirby gains the armor and fights back with basically a new moveset, capable of gaining copy abilities too. But the lovely traditional Kirby platforming formula is still here as we know it, and is better than ever, switching from the foreground and the background, just like Triple Deluxe did it, to add additional depth to the stages. This game would be incredible to see on Switch 2, with multiple Kirbys in each level and upgraded HD visuals, similar to the ones seen in Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Another Kirby game I'd love to see would be a port of Rainbow Curse on Wii U. It'd be a great time to bring it back using the mouse to create the rainbow ropes and enjoy the art style from the main screen, whereas the original was heavily tied to you looking at the gamepad screen if you were Kirby, which made the scenery and art style really hard to enjoy. The sense of creativity and going about the game however you draw really has a great sense of replayability and enjoyment to each stage. Finally, I would love to see a return to the 3D formula, as Kirby in the Forgotten Land was absolutely jaw-dropping and was truly something of its own. The wide open world environments that ooze of wonder, the evolving of copy abilities, the new enemy types, and of course mouthful mode. A full-on sequel to this game would be nothing but a dream. With how well the first game did, as it is now the best-selling Kirby game, beating the original Dreamland on Game Boy, I don't see them not going for that idea. They'd have to, after all the success it got. Now, I know I said I was done with Mario, but I have a few Mario-adjacent franchises and games I would love to discuss. First off, Yoshi. Yoshi's Island is one of the most revolutionary games on the Super Nintendo because of its Super Effects chip in the cartridge and 3D visuals on the SNES. But also, it was just a flat-out great game and started a really great sub-series. What I'm thinking is a port of Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U. I know, a lot of Wii U ports here, just stick with me. The definitive edition of that game is stuck on the 3DS with tons of new amiibo costumes and hidden Poochie stages. Can you imagine this game on Switch too? It would look incredible in 4K. It already looks amazing on the Wii U still. I don't see why it hasn't been ported yet. Next, I'd like to talk about Wario, and not WarioWare, but Wario Land. While I do like me some good WarioWare, it's been way too long since the last Wario Land. The last one was Wario Land Shake It on the Wii, which also had the same developers as Yoshi's Woolly World, Good Feel. This game just feels great to play, and really expresses Wario's more macho, manly personality, with so many hand-drawn sprites and beautiful anime-styled cutscenes. With Wario Land 4 recently being added to Nintendo Switch Online, I think it would be a great sign to port this game, or a new Wario Land. WarioWare has had too much in the spotlight, in my opinion. For my final Mario adjacent game, I'm picking Super Princess Peach, my favorite DS game of all time. With its Yoshi's Island crayon-looking visuals, to Peach's different emotions as gameplay mechanics, and just so much creativity packed into each and every level. I absolutely adore the game, and Peach is one of my favorite Mario characters of all time. Princess Peach Showtime was such a great game last year, and I still love it, even if everyone else kinda hates it. That game has shown that Nintendo isn't afraid to put Peach in the main role, especially with how she was in the movie. I feel if another Peach-related game, or a remake of Super Princess Peach, would happen, that would fill my heart with the most joy. Finally, a few more smaller franchises, which really hurts to say, as I believe these deserve a serious comeback. First up is Star Fox Zero, a very controversial game in the Nintendo community, but I played this one recently for the first time and thought it was absolutely beautiful. Sure, the gamepad controls could be somewhat clunky to some people, but I thought they were brilliant. Seeing the cockpit view on the bottom screen and your regular Star Fox 64 R-Wing style view on the top screen was absolutely phenomenal usage of the Wii U's gamepad. Even when you turn on the gamepad volume slider, the characters start talking to you only on the gamepad. It almost feels like a movie, but it's a 9-year-old game, and it still holds up. Next is F-Zero, and I know I've talked about remakes. This will be my last prediction on that topic. A new F-Zero would be so cool to see. Maybe it could be co-developed by the people who made Fast Racing Neo on Wii U and Fast Racing RMX on Nintendo Switch. If Nintendo doesn't want to make it, I'm sure another company will partner with the license and make it work out. Much how like Sega helped make up F-Zero GX, which by the way, if you haven't played it, go play it now. It's a jaw-dropping experience. Much like Star Fox Zero, almost feels like a movie. It controls like a dream and feels so futuristic for its time. Finally, I'd like to see a return to the smaller bite-sized little eShop titles we had on Wii U and 3DS. I'm talking stuff like Pushmo, where you play as Malo going around helping solve little block puzzles to help the children of the plaza. A return to the NES Remix series. They weren't anything huge per se, but were just so much fun in the sense of a WarioWare bite-sized challenge where you take all these NES franchises in one combo pack and put them together. But what really made it stand out were the remix challenges, stuff like play Ice Climbers with 2 characters at the same time, a level of Super Mario Bros. But you can't stop running, or heck, play a level of Donkey Kong as a Link from Zelda 1. Last year we saw Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which was definitely a return to this idea and satisfied me a lot, but I'd love to see something more on the side of NES Remix with these remix challenges, or maybe a Super Nintendo Remix or N64 Remix. Final game prediction for me would be another Dr. Mario. We haven't had one since Dr. Luigi on Wii U, and that came out in 2013. Technically, there was the mobile game Dr. Mario World, but that game got shut down, unfortunately. I play these games all the time with my family, as they are so much fun puzzlers, matching the colors and viruses together, watching the pills drop into combos to sabotage your opponents in multiplayer. So much fun. My final prediction for this Direct is a release date of summer 2025 with a price of $400, which does sound pretty insane to the average Nintendo collector, but with inflation and how other companies have been pricing their new consoles, I'm sure it'll all be fine. Thank you so much for listening to my thoughts. Sorry for the long hiatus. I've had a lot of physical pain that's been making it hard to get motivation to make videos, but don't fret. I'm making a big return to the channel, as the usual Thomas videos and remakes will be in the works, as my lineup of props, tracks, locations, and characters has increased immensely. Can't wait to put those out. However, a new series I've been wanting to craft for a very long time is in the works, where I review video games and provide my thoughts and critical analysis, fun skits, and commentary, and many more fun elements to add on to those type of videos. I'm very happy to be making a return, and I hope you're all happy to see the new videos. I have such a passionate viewer base, and I have gotten multiple comments that melted my heart with happiness. You guys are just the best, and I hope to make this channel grow even further than before. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.